11 damage. Oh! You know what we're gonna do? We're gonna get out another one. Because you know what? That's balance. It's 2 11 14s, man. He just concedes, yeah. Like, this is so dumb. I'd feel so cheated if I was the opponent. So, despite some clear counterplay to this deck, as I've stated many times before, the deck is still extremely powerful. I actually made the change of putting into shot bots instead of having the Lightforged Crusader, which is the 7 mana that gives you, cards if you don't have any neutral cards in your deck, along with taking out a Consecrate, and that's because I think having the early game tempo is just more important than potentially getting cards later. Like, this deck's biggest weakness is not having a turn 1 or turn 2 play, and having your first turn be like maybe a turn 3 play or something else that you draw later. So having the shot bot just increases the consistency, and since making this change, I'm 3-1. I've only recently made this change. In fact, I think I made the change mid-run today, so not even all of the games will have shot bot in it. But since making the change, it has been exceptionally good. I've absolutely loved the deck since release, even though it's kind of busted, and there's still obviously very powerful plays you can get from High Abyss Allura. If you can get Libram of Hope or Blessing of Authority on it, it can be absolutely incredible. Hand of Adal is nice. It's not huge, but it draws cards and it helps cycle. You just hope that you don't get the Libram of Justice or Consecrate. And taking out a Consecrate also helps with this, because now if you play High Abyss Allura, it's less likely that you get the Consecrate, and you get pumps more frequently as well. So overall, the change for the shot bot was pretty good in my opinion. It increases the tempo of the deck quite a bit. And overall, I think this deck is still a top 5-ish deck in the game. Do I think it's number 1? No, I think that goes to Stealth Rogue at this point, but I don't think that it's any worse than top 5. And like, the other cards are probably like kind of niche. The other decks are probably kind of like niche or have like matchup dependent stuff, whereas this one is, if you just have good tempo, you'll probably win into most matchups. So honestly, really like this deck. If you guys enjoy the deck, feel free to like, comment, and subscribe. If you have any questions, feel free to comment them. Mulligans basically include tons of 1-drops, go for 2-drops, sometimes goody 2 shields if you already have a 1 or 2 drop, and if you also have a 1 or 2 drop, keep Hand of Adal. If you don't, I'd probably say get rid of Hand of Adal to search for these things a little bit more. And that's about it. Hope you guys enjoyed the video. Let's jump into it. Everyone is playing this deck now, and I feel like it's because I told everyone in my tier list, you know what, I just want to feel more important than I am, okay? I want to feel like what I said matters. Is that so bad? But in my tier list, I said that Stealth Rogue is literally the best deck in the game by a pretty wide margin, and people have started playing it. I think I want to start with Pharaoh Cat. Best stats of the two things, maybe we can get something good. That's a pretty good 2-drop, actually. Hello, DXD. And Rudo, thanks for saying you love my YouTube videos. Means a lot, my guy. It's one of the big reasons I do this, actually. Because people show their support and like genuinely like what I do. It's great. It makes me more motivated to do it every time. But anyway, for Libram Paladin, what you want to do is you want to have the early game pressure. If you can develop early game pressure, you can ideally win the game. He doesn't hit at all. We play goody 2 shields. Just the best tempo play and we'll pass. Hopefully we can get some good pumps or something going here, but that probably won't happen now that I'm thinking about it.
Golden rare.
Thanks so much for the follow, H Meatball 57. Weird name. Just saying. We have to just apply pressure. We have to. We have to make him try to trade in. He gets to kill off both, which is unfortunate, but it's literally our best play. There's nothing else to do. Like, there really isn't. If you think about it, the other things that I could potentially do here are Hero Power, Angry Chicken, and pass, and not get 2 5-3s out on the board, but I need the tempo to win the game. Finally got to see one of my streams. Well, H Meatball, I'm glad you're here. Weird champ. And then an Eviscerate, okay, kind of lame, but we'll deal with it in time. I'm actually not going to be able to kill his stupid 3-3, am I? Pretty decent card. His weapon only has 5 attack. If he gets Deadly Poison and hits it, that's not the end of the world, because I get to just play this, which is Divine Shield Taunt, which is not bad. Just saw a couple of your YouTube videos. Glad I'm doing well. Well, thanks, man. I am doing well. And I'm glad that you're glad that I'm doing well. True story. I can play these 3 things or just play Divine Shield Taunt. No, let's just play the 3 things. I feel like that's better. And then we'll go boom and boom. We'll trade into this. We'll go face with this. And we'll trade in. We'll outvalue him if we just continually apply pressure to the board. So I think this is best. Because I can just Libram of Hope later. So we could double trade into my Divine Shield minion if you want. So basically it's going to be trade, hit the Divine Shield minion. And then I will just Libram of Hope my face. I guess. Or he just kills off a couple of things and leaves the 5-2 up because it no longer has the ability to, No, it does still have Spell Burst. There's no way I didn't use the Spell Burst. I specifically didn't. I used the spell before I played the 3-2, so I still have the Spell Burst, right? No, yeah, I did. So it should still have the spell. Okay, so he kills that off. That makes sense. Libram of Wisdom. So I think I want to play this for free. Trade in. The reason why I want to play this for free before I trade in is quite simple. It just makes this cheaper. Which means I can do that. And then target it again. No, that doesn't end up working, actually. Well, I think we just Libram of Hope. And put this on this. Hope he just doesn't have Sap as his last card. We'll hit him in the face. Just don't be Sap. If you're Sap, I'm going to be kind of tilted. I should have put it on the 1-1. Maybe a misplay. But hopefully not. No Sap. No Sap. Okay, cool. We got him. All we need to do really is just have early game tempo with this deck. And I've been thinking about maybe taking out something to help out with that. Like literally taking out the Lightforged Crusader to put in an extra 2 drops. So we have that early game consistency a little bit more. Because that's literally the only weakness of this deck. The lack of early game. Or the lack of consistent early game. And the fact that you need to have tempo in order to do anything. So I'm actually going to make a change. For the first time since I started playing this deck, I'm actually going to change it a little bit. Other than the whole Consecrate thing. I was not trying to be a comedian when saying I'm climbing the high legend. I will be top 1,000 by the end of the day. Guaranteed. Get rid of all of these. We do love the Elder Attendant, though. I did put in 2 shot bots for some extra early game tempo. I think having the early game tempo is in a lot of cases just better than having Consecrate. Because I feel like it's better to have the minions on the board with things like shot bot right here than anything else. We're gonna play oh, I want to play the first day of school. But I think that's a silly idea. I think it goes turn 2, and then turn 3 is coin out High Abyss, then first day of school. Better be something good. I was not trying to be a comedian, though, by the way. Fun fact. I'm going to play Shotbot over Murgurgle, because it's just easier to kill them both off, I think. No, I think it's the same amount of easiness to kill them both off, but the 2-2, like, has slightly better stats. He goes full face with this. That's fine. I'm okay with it. So the only one I don't want it to get is Consecrate. So as long as I don't get Consecrate, we're good. Or, no, I was going to say Libram of Justice. Turn 3, 11, 14. That's pretty balanced, if you ask me, chat. Pretty balanced. Dwarven Sharpshooter's not a great card for this deck, but I mean, it'll work. He saps it potentially. Okay, we'll just slam him for 11 damage. Oh! You know what we're gonna do? We're gonna get out another one. Because you know what? That's balance. It's 2 11 14s, man. He just concedes, yeah. Like, this is so dumb. I'd feel so cheated if I was the opponent. Are you planning on doing coaching? Actually, if I can get top 1,000, and I pay less attention to, like, grinding, and I know for sure I have that 11-star bonus, I think I'll go back to coaching a little bit again. I actually might make an announcement about this, but yeah, I actually do want to go to coaching a little bit, because I like interacting with you guys, and I like Learning through teaching, because that's another great way to learn once you get a good position. Thanks so much for the follow, man. Or not even follow, it was a sub. I think Bomb Warrior is a fantastic deck. I would highly recommend crafting it. Do you think it's worth it? And your thoughts on Galakron, Bomb Warrior, or regular? I think the Galakron version is better, but that's just my own personal experience. And, do I need 2 shot bots? Yeah, I'll take both. Like I said, I think the tempo and having minions is just better than not having minions. But anyway, I think that it's good, but it has a very clear counter. That counter being, what's it called? Weapon removal, or I guess freeze to some extent. So, if you think that there's a lot of that in the meta, maybe stay away from it. Is he going the burst version? Hit face. There's no reason to do anything else right now. We literally are going to have, like, no cards. Which is the one issue of running the 2-shot bot build. You don't have the Lightforged Crusader for extra card draw. But, I don't know, man. I think it's fine. Trade in. Keep him high. Stagger the health a little bit for the Blade Storm, potentially. Gonna play Lightforged Zealot. Just go as hard face as we possibly can. And we're gonna rely on top decks, which is nice. Thanks for the reply. I'm sorry if that didn't help very much. The point is, I think that it's good. I think that's a very good deck, but with some clear counterplay that will make the deck struggle into certain matchups and if people run weapon removal. So if you think people are running a lot of that, or you see a lot of them being run, I would recommend against it. Personally. That's basically it. I would think that it's... I would say that it's still a good deck, though, and definitely worth the craft. Coin out Brawl. Luckily, I have 2 Reborn minions, so it's not that big of a deal. Like, if my 2/4 lives or my 4/2 lives, and not one of the Reborn minions, like, this is great. We still get 2 1/2s, or 2 1s on the board. This is great. We're going to play this first to draw a card before we play this, because I don't want to trigger the spell burst quite yet. And then we're going to hit with the weapon because we have the Lightforged Zealot in hand. We're just going to hope he doesn't have another Brawl. I didn't think he was running Brawl. I thought he was going more Enrage because he had the Sky Raider. I thought he was going like the Enrage build with Risky Skippers and stuff, and those usually don't run Brawl. So I actually did not expect the Brawl. I didn't think that that was a misplayed overcommit to the board. But we just steamroll him. Gotta go to sleep. It's 4 AM here in the Philippines. Well, I'm glad that you were able to catch my stream, man. It's a pleasure to stream to you. Well, to everyone, actually. This is great. Like, I love streaming, man. I love talking to you guys and having a community, and makes me feel less lonely when I play games. You know? Makes me feel like I have friends. Okay. This hand is pretty good, actually. First day of school curves out really nicely into Hand of Adal, which curves nicely into this, and hopefully we just draw another 1-drop or a cheap little spell. Are you going to do coaching on Discord? I will probably use Discord if I do coaching. Doo-doo. Sorry. That's so stupid. This minion takes damage. Deal that damage to your hero. See, here's the like, I want to play this because it has really good stats and is a really good target to buff up. But I'll take a ton of damage. But, at the same time, it's so strong. Or just guaranteed 5 damage to the face from a Spy Mistress. I feel like that's just better. I feel like that's just way better. Oh, but that guy would be a 3/6. He'd be a 3/6. You can't kill a 3/6. I mean, you can, but it would be difficult. Make him trade into the 5/3. We're going to play Goody 2 Shields the next turn. He's going to waste some of his removal and or Arcane Missiles on the 5/3. We're going to have to just hope that it doesn't hit it. Then he might... So what's going to happen is he's going to trade in Arcane Missiles. If it hits it only once, he's going to coin Fire Blast. If it hits it twice, he's just going to pass his turn. The next turn, I'm going to play Goody 2 Shields. And... probably play the Soulbound Ash Tongue. Maybe I should have played him instead. He would have been a 3/6. Yes, I would have taken damage every time he took damage, but like, does that matter? My goal is to rush him down and have really good stats on the board. What did I tell you? He's gonna play Arcane Missiles. He's gonna coin Hero Power if it hits only once. Oh, or Brain Freeze and use a whole other removal spell. It's actually pretty decent for me, actually. I approve. He's used his Arcane Missiles and stuff already, so that means this is more likely to stick on the board. And then we'll probably just play the Ash Tongue next turn. Ping off its Divine Shield. Do it. You know you want to. You're gonna watch my tier list video on YouTube? Well, go ahead. I actually think that the tier list is pretty solid. I've played a lot of different decks. I've played against a lot of different decks, and I feel like my input, my knowledge is pretty good. Unrivaled. Well, okay, it's not true. That definitely is rivaled by a lot of people, but... oh, fudge, man. Such a lame thing to have happen. Devolving Missiles is such a lame card. But on the bright side, he just used it, so that's good. We're just gonna pump him up. I mean, I guess I could have done another hero power, potentially. But he just used Devolving Missiles, which means I'm pretty sure that it's safe here.
Golden rare.
So the question is, do I play Elder Truthseeker, or do I play Blessing of Authority? I think I play Blessing of Authority and hit his 3/6. I take 3 damage, but I'll play a 10/10 next turn. I feel like that's just objectively good. He's going Highlander? I didn't even realize. I'm so bad. I take 10 damage. That actually just threw the game away. Ha! That's not good. This animation is taking forever. I did not expect that even in the slightest. I saw the Violet Spellwing and the Devolving Missiles and Brain Freeze and just thought that it was the, what's it called? Thought that it was the, like, cheap Spell Mage, and that he threw in a Crimson Hothead for, like... because it makes sense, right? Crimson Hothead has really cheap things. It has really cheap, what's it called? Really cheap spells. So it could create a defensive barrier, because that's the thing that the mage loses to, hard aggro. So I thought that maybe he's running that, but that was weird. It was really weird. I did not expect that at all. Ultimately, that's still fine though. I'm not too upset by that. Like, obviously, it's not ideal, and I wanted to get the Argent Braggart out, but we can still play around this. Interesting though. I did not expect that at all. Like, also Primordial Studies. Yeah, this guy has tons of 1-drops. How is he also Highlander? This makes no sense to me. This guy literally got, like, all of his 1-drops. And was able to deal with my board right at the beginning, which was really good for him. Terrible for me, but really good for him. Like, his hand was just absolutely incredible. That was probably one of the best. You are so dumb. You're so dumb. He gets silence, right? Yeah, we're done. Unless we top deck Consecrate right now, we're done. I mean, I guess done might be a bit strong. Devoted Pupil, or Devote Pupil, whatever you want to call it. 1, 4, 6 with a hero power, I guess. We'll just flood the board. I think we have to just flood the board. Because we can make this 1, so it'll be 5, 6. It'll be 4, 5, 6, 7. And I can play everything. Pretty much. And that'll be my last ditch effort to win. So go boom boom. He'll be 1. And we'll go boom and boom. We don't need him to be huge. We just need the pressure on board. And maybe we can draw like Lady Liadra next turn. Or in a turn or two, and maybe that'll be enough. But I'm skeptical. Would you run the Altruist and Highlander Demon Hunter? No. You're here for your once a month appearance? Well, hey man, how's it going? Dude, this guy had his entire early... like, this guy's hand was just too good to beat. He literally had everything he needed uncurved with Zephyrus and Reno. Like... this one was just unwinnable. To be fair, I did kind of pop off the 2 previous games. And Mage is already a kind of bad matchup because they can freeze me and allow me to, like, not win the game. But I've got to say, that's problematic. Also, if I had gotten out the other thing instead of Reno, he just would have Zephyrus and gotten Power Word Ruin and killed off my entire board anyway, so it didn't really matter what I would have done. It didn't really matter what I would have done here. Then he hits. Right? That's fine. Unfortunate, but fine. Elder Attendant, terrible top deck here, but we'll make it work. Hero power, pump up the 4-5, go face, pass. We'll save this to kill off something big. It all comes down to the fact that I didn't play the 1-4. I played the 3-1. I should have played the 3-1. I really should have. That was such a lame decision of mine. The 1-4 would have just been able to be pumped up so quickly, so effectively, and I would have been able to trade in for sure. Wow, and Cram Session. This guy's deck is crazy. Frost Nova, perhaps?
Oh, it says explode.
This guy needs to chill. I think I Libram of Justice next turn just because I kind of have to. I can't leave these things on the board. Don't, please, stop. We did get Lady Liadrin, which does make this game significantly more winnable. I've used... Hit. I just want more Librams. This is the best I could do. This is the best I could muster. I get like 6 spells. That's not bad. I'm gonna give each of them a death rattle. I'm gonna get each of them to 3 attacks. They can all trade into the 1-3 if I need to. I don't know. Maybe I should have just gone hard face, but I didn't want the spell damage out there. He's already used Zephyrus and Reno.
A simple spell.
How badly am I gonna get wrecked? How badly did I mess myself up here is the question. My initial instincts say not that bad. But I also feel like it's not good either. I forgot I'd played Blessing of Authority. Maybe I should have just played it without the 1 extra Libram of Wisdom, so I could have killed off the 1-3. I could have killed off both. And I would have had 1 less Blessing of Wisdom. But now I leave up 1 extra minion. I think it was a good call, but I'm not entirely sure.
Is it cold in here?
Devolving Missiles? He's a Highlander, and he literally already used 1. So I didn't think that he'd have another. $11, 12, 13, 14, 15 damage. We'll pump you up. Other Truth Seeker is not bad. 10, 13, 14, 15, 16 damage. I can get him down. I can do 16 damage. My entire board gets poofed here next turn, by the way. My entire board gets poofed by Reno. So I think what I want to do is trade face. Sadly. No. Trade. Go face. Save these in my hand to play around Reno. So that way I can potentially kill him with Reno. Like, I can kill off any one big minion with Blessing of Authority. So I don't necessarily need this anymore. Now if he plays Reno, we have these 2 things, which is not bad. It's okay. I can play a taunt and maybe not die. I was trying to play around Reno. Because if I went full face, he hits me full face and plays Reno, and I am kind of doomed anyway. The Devolving Missiles, he could have got it off the Spellkin, that is true. That he could have, but I don't think he did. Okay. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. This is 15 damage, right? This is 10, 15 damage. Oh, sick. We actually got him. I wanted to play more cards, man. Okay, so. Slight misplay. Did not expect him to be Highlander. I mean, you can understand my confusion, right? He opened the game with Violet Worm, Wand Thief, Devolving Missiles, and Brain Freeze. Like, I did not expect that to be Highlander. I expected that wholeheartedly. And Chenvala? Yeah, I expected that 100% to be not Highlander. I thought maybe he just ran Crimson Hothead because, like, your biggest weakness is getting rushed down, you have a lot of cheap spells to trigger it, might as well give yourself a 4/6 taunt relatively early on to stop yourself from dying to, like, Stealth Road. Like, you can understand where my confusion was, right?